Hey, I am so sorry that Shaggy made us be late again. It's not my fault. Just so you guys know, it's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not your fault. Well, whatever. I've been sitting here waiting for you for like 45 minutes. I know what you're talking about.
When you get to be my age, and you get to be my age, when you got to pee, you got to pee. I don't care. I don't make excuses. I'm not apologizing for it. Get old, you got to pee.
All right. So, guys, welcome to the Real Trucker Talk. We see people popping in. Sorry we haven't been here in a while. We've been doing so many Q&As in the group. What's up, James? We've been doing so many Q&As in the group. We did one in the group today, and there's what, 77 people in there, Frank?
Yeah,
Last
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was at the shop all
I
day.
showed you pictures of it. You dweeb.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bunch.
There was a lot.
You showed me pictures of it. It was already a full page, and that was before it even started.
Oh, that's crazy. And we've been doing so many educational things in our Shaggy's Consulting Training Group. Welcome to Shaggy's Consulting and Training, where the real trucker talk. And it's cold over here because somebody said it's snowing. And, what's up, David? Everybody's joining in while people get in here. And we usually try to come on every Friday night, but we've all been so busy. Frank's moving trucks, they're moving freight like crazy. And we're training. Our classes are booked out till like freaking March. Our one-on-ones are booked out till April 5th. Freaking everything's happening. What's up, Justin? James Wheeler says Florida is beautiful, Frank.
Yeah.
Man, the temperatures are changing. Freight's falling out. Maybe it's not. People are talking about fuel prices. We got company drivers getting owner operators. Dispatchers don't know what to do. Keith Baldwin says, great job with the broker class. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Frank, for helping. Frank's in there. He always helps us. Sometimes we get Frank Jr. in there too. Now, I can tell you next week we're going to be doing a Q&A in the group where we're going to have Corey in there. I'm going to try to get Jared Frostbook, Josh Hankins. I'm going to try to get Frank Jr. If Frank's not around, we're going to have a classy group of a lot of freaking brokers in there sharing a lot of broker information. It's going to be truly a phenomenal Q&A next week. So if you guys haven't jumped into the group or joined Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group, you guys are missing out on some serious, beautiful education that we put out there. Frank wants to, we're live every week at 8 o'clock. Please like the page, share the group, check out Frank's group. What is that group, Frank?
G3 Trucks and Freight.
Yeah, check out that group. It's growing too. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm either his sister group or he's my sister group, something like that.
Well, we're sisters. Well, yeah, that's it.
He just has hair and I look better,
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be talking tonight about company drivers becoming owner operators, and then some people had some questions about lease purchase. Or no, I was leasing on owner operators. Was it Frank that was in the group?
Yes.
Operators. And then we're going to talk about freight rates right now, the different seasons, what's going on, and what all the drivers are going to do that didn't jump in and dispatch themselves. Why you're paying 10% for somebody to run your trucking company. What are you going to do when the freight drops on you? Right, Frank?
Yes.
Fire it up, Big Daddy.
Okay.
You said
well, one of the things that kept coming up this week, in all the places
they asked about the Q&A next week. It's going to be Friday at 1 o'clock. Friday, 1 o'clock. Go ahead.
One of the questions that keeps coming up, a lot of these groups and a lot of our friends that are on the internet quite a bit keep asking about. A lot of them are company drivers. Don't want to own their own truck. They keep asking, questions about, how do you make the jump? Which I think, I think that's a great question because in my opinion, the way to do this is the way to do this business is to be a company driver for a year or two. Find out if you even like doing it. Get a feel for the truck, get a feel for the roads and the seasons, what kind of trailer you want to pull, what kind of work you want to do. And then if you want to make the jump, if you want to make the jump to owner operator, own your own truck, maybe you become an owner operator and lease to a company and let them pay the bills, let them collect, let them get the customers, let them wear 4 or 5 of those hats that you're going to have to wear when you finally jump in and get your own authority. Because that's the last thing. Get your own authority and start building your truck. But that jump that you make from company driver to owner operator, leased onto somebody, hauling under somebody else's authority, and I hope you guys, that have already made that jump, and now you're building your truck company. I hope you'll pay attention. Like Shaggy and I've been talking about this. Maybe we can help you with some ideas about how to lease on owner operators. How to get people to come to your company. And why would they come to your company instead of somebody else's? What do you got that they ain't got? What do you offer? What makes you different? What sets you apart? So those are some of the things that we wanted to talk about. And making that jump from company driver to owner operator. So if anybody's got any questions, pop them up we can see them down below here.
Oh yeah, they're pouring in like crazy. That's always a big question we get all the time. Is if I become a company driver or I become an owner operator, should I be an owner operator and get my own authority, or should I be an owner operator first, Frank, or should I just go out there and get my own authority? And I seriously, with all the people I talk to, I believe that people are really, really confused on what goes on, because obviously are, because I see so many people that go out there and jump from company driver straight to getting their owner operator, but getting their authority. And then they skip the whole part about lease to somebody. They don't understand the compliance and safety. They don't understand the laws of authority. They're freight chasing right off the back. They don't build a network of brokers to haul for before they start. They go straight out there like the ones I had this week, and they go straight out there and you start paying some dispatcher that's never owned a truck, right out the back, because you didn't understand the process in the first place, because you having somebody else book your freight, right, is more important than learning the business and doing it yourself. You're going to pay that person 10%, right? 10% or 8% or 5% or whatever that percentage is on top of insurance, truck, trailer, fuel, percentage, and everything. And you haven't even figured out where the freight is, what's moving, where the freight is, how it's going to move, where it's going to go. And you're expecting these people to come in and tell you, Frank.
Yeah. There's James Toller, my brother. Hello, James. You stay confused. Yes, we know that. We're aware of that. There's so much ground to cover. We can sit here and talk about this all night long. But if you're driving a company truck right now, and I don't care if you're pulling dry vans, I don't care if you're pulling reefers, even if you're in hot shots, those little tiny trucks, little, like the ones like I take fishing, that kind of thing. Whatever you're doing, whatever kind of business you're in this industry, what part of it you're in, you can at some point make the jump, from company driver to owner operator. Eric Wilt says, for many, being leased to a company is often a far better option. I agree. And we're going to get into why. We're going to talk about why. If you are leased to a company, if you have your own truck, you buy your own equipment, and you lease to a company, they do several things for you. Number one, they find your freight. They keep your truck busy. They keep it loaded. They keep you moving. Okay. They've already got freight in place. Now, and we're going to talk about this some too. If it's one of these companies, all they do, they put some shit on Facebook and go, yeah, I used to be an owner operator here. We only charge 6%. And they're sitting there playing the broker board and chasing freight. They're not going to be around long, and you're not either. Okay. That's bullshit. But if you get with a real company that's been in business for, let's say at least 5 years or more, you get with a real company like that, they have their own trailers, they have their own customers. So they're going to do that for you. The other thing they're going to do for you is they're going to pay you. They're going to collect from the customer and they're going to pay you. And you're going to get paid every Friday. You know, if you're in business for yourself, you have your own authority. That's another hat you put on. You have to collect from the customer. You have to get your money in. You have to pay all your bills. So
You have to do clearinghouse. You got to get into drug testing. You got bills. You got
yes,
compliance. DOT's on you all the time. And that's the thing. If you're going to outsource anything as a new carrier coming on, outsource part. I mean, work with a compliance place, work with the factoring company, get a fuel card. But how can you go and have your own authority and not understand how you're going to pay your bills and grow your network? You know, that's the thing about it. There's a total difference of having your authority as a one truck owner operator and having multiple trucks. It changes the whole game, Frank.
big time, big time. But you can be an owner operator. Okay, you can have your own truck, lease it to a company, and you can have more than one truck. You don't just have to have one truck. You know, we've had guys leased on to us that had 6 or 7 trucks.
So you can dispatch yourself while you're learning the ropes to some of these companies.
Sometimes,
but how do I find a good company though? What makes me have a good company? Is it just because they talk good on Facebook?
No, there's a couple of things that will tip you off. You know, number one, the big companies, you know, with their lease purchase deal, be careful with that. I've only ever met one guy ever that told me that works. Yeah, this is my 3rd truck, and I make plenty of money. I get home time with my kids. I get a new truck every 3 years. That's the only guy I've ever talked to that has had a good thing to say about lease purchase from these mega companies, these big companies. But to me, you know, my idea of a good company, if you're going to lease on time, is a company that has good customers, not just broker freight. Good customers that they've had for a long time, and they run in the same lanes all the time, you know, and they're lanes that you like to run.
Not freight chasing, where you just run all over the place, call them all day long, take the next bus load.
Yeah, yeah. And you're freight chasing outbound, you're freight chasing inbound, you know, you're sitting around someplace waiting on a load. You know, a good company never leaves you sitting on the road. A good company always has your next load ready for you when you get empty. So, you know what I recommend to people, what I think is a good idea is find some of these smaller or medium-sized companies that have been in business for a long time. And there's a lot of them out there, guys, and they are class acts. They are good at what they
talk
do.
to their drivers and see what they got going on and actually investigate them out before you go there.
Yeah, talk to them. You know, talk. The best thing is, James, call me up, man, when you get ready for that. I'll help you. There's my girl Susan Couch, Roger Jones. Anyway, you know, these companies, all of these companies, you know, some of them are good, some are bad. Now, when it comes to pay, I said it again. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. You know, these jackwads that get on Facebook. Yeah, you come lease on to me, and I only keep 6%. You get on. Okay, that's bullshit. You can't put it on an owner operator at 6% and stay in business.
But why?
Why what?
Why can't I?
Because you have overhead, you have costs, you have, like you were talking about, you've got insurance, you've got road use tax, you got to have a fuel card, you got to have credit, huh?
You got to keep your equipment up. You got to make sure they're doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You have costs, you have overhead.
You got to go out there and put owner operators on your company and let them risk one time, 1 hour service.
Well, some of these guys will tell you, I pay 90%. But then when you get your first settlement, what you find out is they took out $1,000 for insurance, $300 for trailer rent, you know, all this other shit that most companies don't even charge you for, the real companies. My partner, my buddy Ricky, he's on 75-25. He's the owner operator, 75%. He keeps 25. But he's been in business for 30 years, so his insurance rates are really cheap, but he pays for the insurance. You do not. He's got trailers. He pays for the trailers and the maintenance on the trailers. You do not. You know, he pays you every Friday. So you don't have to sit there and worry about, you know, some factoring company or trying to cash flow your business, because that can get really expensive, okay, guys. And if you don't have the money, you know, you're not doing good. But when you add all this stuff up, and then ask yourself a question, ask yourself, can you go into business for yourself and get your own authority? Can you provide all those things that this company is going to provide for you? Can you do that and still make more money? And if the answer is yes, go for it. But
And that's what's the setup of it? If you're going to be an owner operator, what are you going to do at the company? Like, I understand, like, there's somebody in here talking about my dispatching service keeps me running at $2 a mile. If you're going to be one truck and you're going to have your authority and you're going to go out there and let a guy book your loads and stuff like that. But number one, most owner operators, and there's two types. They either want to dispatch themselves and run their own truck, or they want you to do it for them. The minute that you go out there and let somebody else, whether you're making good money, you don't even know what good money is when you're using a dispatch. You're like $2 a mile. Is that all you can get? You got a dispatcher. Are you ever going to get customers with a dispatcher? Are you ever going to grow your trucking company? Are you going to promise a product for somebody else? 11,000 bills a month. So what's that? 11 is that after truck, trailer, and fuel? That's decent for one guy. I'm not knocking it. But when you start duplicating your company and doing more, it starts to change the game a little bit. And I'm not even going to go into the whole dispatching service tonight of they're good or bad. Well, I might anyways. Hold on. Go back up. We got a question for we're going to jump off topic because Mandy Akers says, so do you get freight before you get carriers, or you get carriers before you get freight?
Well, the only time I've ever grown my company is when I needed more trucks, when my customers called and said, we want you to do more work. We want you to haul more freight. So then I'll go out and add on a few trucks. I don't add on trucks and then go try to find work for them to do. I mean, that's a recipe for failure.
So Mandy, the first thing you need to do is understand the area you're going to work. Then you need to find out the customers and know everything about them. Then you got to go find the trucks to be able to move the freight, because it doesn't matter how great sales you are or how many customers you have. If you don't know the freight you're going to have to sell the carriers you're going to have, and then have the carriers to go back and sell the customers, you're never going to survive.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you sell yourself a trucking company, use a dispatcher for 3%, then and still make the same amount of money? $2 a mile, making 11,000 after fuel. That's so that doing $24,000 a month, you could do yourself. And just so you know, Reese, you could do the same thing, because if you had started your authority and found 100 brokers while you're waiting to go active, and you could do the same thing. All you do is post your trucks, build relationships with like 10 or 15 breakers in the area. And you know what they're going to do all day, Reese? They're going to call you up and be like, hi, hey, Reese, I got this load for you. Yeah, it picks up here, here, and here. Do you want it? It pays this much. Reese is going to be like, yeah, go ahead, book that for me. And you're going to get your 6%. You could go ahead and do that if you'd actually get off your ass and build a network, and then you could actually get customers, and then you could build a product to where you could add on some more trucks if you wanted to, and then you could actually have $2,000 or $3,000 coming in from a couple owner operators. So whenever your truck don't run down, or your dispatcher has a problem or makes a mistake, you actually have more money coming in. But if you just want to be one guy and drive a truck and you don't want to do anything or build a network or do anything, then by almighty, just keep doing what you're doing. We don't have no problem with that.
No. And when we do these things, there's always a couple of guys that get on there and go, yeah, well, I do it at 6%. I make plenty of money. Well, good for you, buddy. I mean, that's just great. But on the whole,
that's great insurance too, man. That means you're paying $250.
Go pay your own insurance, buy your own trailer, do your maintenance on that. Have a breakdown, blow a motor. Do that stuff and tell me how good you're doing.
I just can't allow somebody else that's a dispatcher to run my company and doesn't understand my thing, doesn't understand my compliance, doesn't understand my risk. I can't do it. But if you got a dispatcher that's really good, they got customers and they're not just running on the low boards and they can do it for 52 weeks out of the year, do it, man.
Do it. I mean, if you've got the money,
you're not going to sit here blow hot air up our ass and say, I got 6 trucks out here running, because the trucks break down, things happen. You're borrowing from one truck to the next. Nothing's consistent out here. You have to have the diversity. That's why big companies do it. So don't come on blowing hot air and be like, it could be just, I mean, I'm not telling anybody they're wrong. It just doesn't work that way. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, the thing of it is, it's all hunky dory. Blow a motor, have a wreck. have an accident somewhere. Have one of your drivers get in a wreck somewhere, and tell me how you feel that day. Tell me how you feel 30 days later when you start getting the notices from the lawyers about the lawsuits coming in. So have a customer. I had a good friend went through this. He'd been in business for a long time. He's a good guy. And he had this one big customer, big customer. He'd been pulling for him for years and years and years. Great customer. All of a sudden, out of the blue one day, they went under. They shut down. And guess what? They didn't pay any of their freight bills ever. Going back about 60 days.
There's no way that works that perfect, man. It doesn't. You wish it would. There's no way. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, Stephen, we don't have any problem sharing rate sheets with people who come to our company. But I didn't come on here just to sell you guys to come on with our company. I mean, we can take trucks anytime we want to. We just wanted to talk about making that jump. We talk about, the different hats that you wear.
The risk of going from a company driver to an owner operator, what I mean? Or getting your authority. What's involved?
If you are a company driver with a good company, making good money, driving nice equipment, all that stuff, you have one hat. One hat. You got to operate that truck, the way this company wants you to, the way they lay it out for you, the way they tell you to do it. You got to operate that truck safely and efficiently. And that's your hat. You're a truck driver. You're good. It's hard work to be a good truck driver. Nobody will ever tell you different around me. When you make that jump to owner operator, now you're in the maintenance business. You're in the truck business. You've got to set up your business so that all your taxes are taken. Be it LLC, be it S corp, sole proprietor, however you want to set that business up. But you're also in the maintenance business for your equipment now. So you're learning. You're picking this up. But to make that next jump to having your own authority, you got to figure out a way to cash flow all that. You got to have enough money to be in business. Okay. Yeah, and if you don't, go ahead.
Oh, and there's another thing too, because a lot of people are saying they're owner operators, but they're in this lease purchase business too. And I believe there's some lease purchases people can do, and there's some they can't. But if you're going to be in a lease purchase as a company driver going out there, you don't want to start out one where you walk right in, it's a walk away. That's like setting up for death, because those companies know you're going to pay for the breakdowns. You're going to get in trouble. You may make a little bit more money than a company driver, but there's a lot of company jobs out there with the market the way it is, where you can go out there and make 15, 2,000, even more a week as a company driver right now with these people that are hiring. Like there's thousands of people hiring. So why would you go out there and walk into a lease purchase as a company driver where they're going to let you walk in, buy a truck that they're giving you, a truck that costs them a ton of money, and make you an owner operator to where you're going to have to cover all the expenses of something you don't even know what a clue, because you've never owned the truck and they're not even maintaining it for you, managing or teaching you anything, or even how to book the loads or anything. There's other lease purchase programs that are just like if you go out there and you put $5,000 down or $10,000 down to purchase a truck. When you do stuff like that, now you're invested. You worked hard to put that money down, but then you still got to know your product. You got to know how you're going to double your household income, and it's very important to know that. Sometimes $6,000 doesn't double a person's household income after truck, trailer, fuel, and expenses and fixed costs and escrow. You got to think about that, because your fixed costs might be $400 to $600 a week. Your escrow you got to put back on top of that could be 5 to 10% a week. Your fuel could be $1,500 a week. Your insurance at one of these companies could be $300 to $400 a week. You know what I mean? Hey, there's Brian Summerlin, man. He's booking loads, Frank, like crazy, man, right now. He's just got 4 customers. He's on his second load he booked as a rookie. What's up with that?
Cool. A couple of comments here. It's been a huge influx of dispatchers joining the industry. Seems like you were trying to shoot them down. I'll be happy to shoot them down. And my friend Shaggy here, he would love to shoot them down, but we're not going to get into that tonight. That's not the subject for the night. My question to you is, unless you are a dispatcher.
back up a minute. I'm not shooting nobody down. I'm telling you right now, brother, when a guy goes and fucking gets his authority, he didn't come out here, Wayne, to have you run his truck. Unfortunately, what he did is he spent $50,000 to $100,000 to provide for his wife to open up a business to pay for him. Just because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers on the internet that are telling everybody they can leave Taco Bell and go out there and make 10% off somebody off one load and dictate their livelihood. You know, when you use a dispatching service, you're not paying attention to what they're booking. You're not paying attention to what they're doing for you. I'm not saying all of them are bad. I know great dispatchers, but that's not what happened. There's a ton of them, and don't even go there because I've trained a ton of them, and I don't. And I'll still teach the people part of the business. I'm not against it 100%. I'm tired of seeing the 2,000 motherfuckers going out of business because they're not running their own fucking trucking companies. And I am against them if you want to get technical about it, because they pay the insurance, they pay the fucking drivers, they pay the fixed costs, they fill the breakdown, they pay when the driver is in a wreck, they pay when stuff happens, they pay whenever you do the wrong credit check, they pay whenever you're on the load board and the freight rates drop, and they're the ones that lose their house, their car, and their livelihood because they come into a fucking market where every factoring company and dispatcher and the known demand, because most of these people didn't have a plan to use a dispatcher when they first started their authority. They planned to open a trucking company, run it, either grow it and be independent because they were tired of working for somebody else that's out there being leased on, and they wanted to run their own business. Going to run your own business doesn't mean to let some other dude come in and dictate your freight. You can outsource your compliance and your factoring and your fuel cards and everything else. But if you don't know how to make your money and pay your bills and run your business and provide opportunity for other people, and half these dispatchers just drove a truck, they're company drivers, people from Taco Bell and factory jobs that don't want to work it because somebody put a picture of entrepreneur out there, and they're out there dictating these people's livelihoods, and they have no consequences at all. They don't have anything for a carrier to do whenever they screw them over. There's no lawyer system to go after. It's like, oops, I'm sorry when I did that. And I never said that they're all dispatchers are bad. I'm saying you guys that are open trucking companies and they got your authority need to know how to do everything yourself before you do it. How the fuck can you let a dispatcher run your trucking business if you don't know how to do it yourself first? How do you know if they're doing it wrong?
Anyway, thank you very much for your question, and welcome to the group. And we're happy to answer.
Once you pull up FMCSA and look at the thousands of carriers going out of business, people like TAPS manipulating people out the back just so they can get clients. Every factoring company out there for OTR uses every dispatching service in the world to crisscross things. And I'm all for the carriers. Go to the other channels out here like fucking Dispatch Lounge and all these dispatching Facebook groups where they promote the world of running everybody's businesses. You got your authority to make money for your family. And I understand it's consistency and stuff like that, but we open trucking companies and do it ourselves. It drives me nuts whenever people are running a trucking business. They can't even take control of it. They're not going to be here long. It's a fly-by-night business, and it won't be here for long. It's not even fun. Most dispatchers, if they could find another way to make money and they didn't have to dispatch more after 6 or 7 months of you doing it, they wouldn't even do it no more. And half of them are doing it wrong anyways. You got guys out there charging percentages, and they work their ass off from 6 o'clock in the morning at 12 o'clock at night, Saturdays, calling people they want shit all day long just to make a few bucks. And I do understand it's nicer to make $1,000 or $2,000 or $1,500 a week rather than go work a job. But you're doing it on behalf of our precious carriers that are out here that have more invested in it too. Half the dispatchers out there don't even know what it's like to go to sleep at night and pay 6 to 12 people's salaries and know that if they don't, they'll lose their livelihood. Anyways, I'll shut up now.
I wouldn't want anybody dispatching my truck that had never been in a truck or didn't know anything about the business. I'm not saying that every single dispatcher, every single broker and all that, if you've never been a truck driver, you don't know what you're doing. But I will say this, if you've never been in a truck, you don't fucking know what you're talking about. You just don't.
Dude, I talk to people all the time who have company drivers for 15 years and they booked a little bit for themselves and they don't even know what it's like to experience a run of a trucking company, have the risk of a lawyer coming after you, liabilities and claims if you're in a wreck and stuff like that, except for what they did themselves. You got people out there telling guys they could set up the world for them and they've never even done their own fucking company. They just act like it on a fake pretty manufactured website. Anyways, go
Hey,
ahead.
there's a lady on here with a couple of comments. Her name is Melissa Fields. I think she used to be like a New York truck driver or something. She says, "Why is it snowing on y'all?" I don't know. You might want to ask your husband. I don't know where that came from. Started out scared. And
Just
Melissa says,
we
why
have
not
one
just
truck.
lease onto someone and have them dispatch you? At least you won't have to worry about doing all the dang compliance and authority, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a lot of et cetera. That's a lot
Was it?
of
I missed
stuff.
it. Was it?
Snowing.
Nope. I sell dispatch training, brother Wayne. I sell dispatch training for carriers. Very few. I spend in my dispatch training. When I teach dispatching, I spend very few times for dispatching services, and I teach people how to do it as brokers so they can utilize the brokers. I'm not against brokers or dispatching services. I teach how to do it right. I teach. I didn't even go there. Anyways,
Hey, Melissa, Melissa,
can
can you block that asshole Michael Dunn? Can you get him out of here?
Do I? No. Wade's okay. He's right. He's not a broker or dispatcher. He
No,
says
Michael Dunn's trying to sell his cash app.
sell dispatchers training. I do not sell dispatchers training. I have done it over the years, but in the last 2 years, I'm so much for the dispatchers, the people that dispatch themselves. I say it in all my videos. I say it everywhere. I still have the dispatching service part of it out there because when a carrier starts to grow his business as a carrier and he starts to go get customers and then he has his brokerage, right, Frank? And he starts to grow, you're going to have to learn dispatching other people to do it right because you don't want to be putting your freight on the load boards. You don't want to be risking your customers.
In the age of insurance and liability, who in the fuck wants to put their business, their reputation, their investments, all that in the hands of somebody that does not have any skin in the game? Who wants to do that? I mean, one false move, anything happens, a load goes bad, you get a big claim. I've had claims for $50,000. A claim goes bad, and that dispatcher, all of a sudden, that dispatcher disappears. Oh, I didn't have anything to do with that, and leaves your ass hung out there to dry. Who the fuck wants to do that? I mean,
Wayne, yes, in the past, I have trained a lot of dispatching companies, unfortunately, and I'm not mad about it. But if I could turn it around and only train 15 people a week, I would definitely, train people to dispatch themselves first. And that's what I really promote. And anybody that's taken my training classes will tell you I promote it, but you can't stay away from the dispatching because
here's the deal. If you're going to go into this business, you need to know this stuff. Okay? You need to know how to dispatch your truck. You need to know everything there is to know about it. You need to know how to negotiate, how to deal with a broker.
You're very right, Lane. One claim, one risk, one fraud, one accident, quick pay where they approve one and somebody they're gone. You are right, Wayne.
You bet. Are and that guy's sitting around, that dispatcher sitting around using your MC number and your insurance and your DOT number to conduct business. Are you kidding me? You're going to let somebody do that?
Oh my God! You know how many people that we've dispatched and get dispatched, and they use these dispatchers, and these dispatchers are booking loads of brokers that are doing stuff, and then they leave, and they don't even go back and actually call every Raycon they ever had and change that person off their shit.
Yeah.
Or do 1099s. They're letting these people run wild because 15 people are doing circle jerks on fucking YouTube and Facebook saying, that's the way you got to do it.
Stephen Cheers, booking other loads with your MC. Damn right.
You hear that every day. You have no idea.
What's the, if some clown's sitting there setting you up with brokers on your behalf, setting you up with customers, most of them don't do that. Most of them just chase broker freight. All they're doing is setting you up with brokers.
The only thing they're calling customers is because some broker they found gave them email list and they got lots of lanes and they need you to cover it because they can't find carriers any other fucking way.
Yeah, the last 6 months has been a gravy train, but I'm here to tell you, Shaggy and I have been talking about this for a year. It's slowing down. It's coming. We were talking about this.
You're already 2 months too late because you should already been calling 30 to 40 brokers and customers a day 2 months ago because you should have known that the lollipop licking, gold mine digging, and that stuff is not happening. These dispatchers don't have nothing. They're calling you 7 times a day. Like, you want this one? Oh, you want this one? Man, I don't know what's going on, man. The phones aren't even ringing, man. It's taking me forever to get through these guys, man. Oh, it's just the winter season. It's more in the winter season, buddy.
A lot more than the winter season. And hey, it's gonna be that way. It's gonna be that way.
Could be for a while. What are you going to do? What are you going to do because you didn't do it yourself and you didn't count on it? What are you going to do when they ain't got no excuses no more and you're left still paying your insurance and all your bills because you thought it was the easy way because everybody and their mom told you, oh, you can't find no brokers in the first 90 days to use you. You're going to have yourself a network out there, and I got one because I've stolen. Safety is top priority in this industry. You can have all the freight in the world. You can add all the owner operators in the world. You can have everything. But if you're not 100% compliant all the time and taking track of your PSP, we just had a webinar today with it was unbelievable. You just ask anybody in the group. It is nuts. And
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa. We don't need to do cash out paying in our group. We don't care about
bullshit.
But that's stupid. We don't keep them busting our chops or yelling at us. You can do that all you want.
Tell you right now, in this group tonight, right here on Trucker Talk live Trucker Talk with Shaggy and Frank. If we ain't selling it, you don't need to buy it. You don't need it. It's not something you need in your home. It's not something you need to embrace. It's not something you need to put your hand around. If we ain't selling it, goddamn, you don't.
Lane, will you come in here and get me all riled up over the whole dispatch thing? And I have the right to get riled up. Me and Corey dispatched up to 70 trucks for quite a long freaking time. And if I could go back and do it again, I would try my best to never do that again and talk as many people as I can out of it. But unfortunately, I know no matter what me and Frank say on here, no matter how many people listen to us, there's always going to be somebody that will still want to use one, or there is people that need to use one. They're already in. They already paid the debt.
So while we're on the subject of fraud, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I go with this one right here. You hear what my advice. Somebody made a post up here about right here. Robert Drews. Robert Drews.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head.
He hit that nail on the head. Yep. Hell, just think about Corey doing it for 25 years. And we opened the brokerage 3 years ago. The first 4 things cost him $100,000 for 90 days. Now they got paid, but he had to float $100,000 worth of claims for over 90 days. How many new brokers jump in, can still operate their business, keep their customers, pay their family bills, and float their bills holding $100,000, waiting for everybody else's insurance companies to pay for mistakes that carriers made from neglect for shitty maintenance?
When that happens, here's the deal. What he's talking about, when that happens, your ass is out of business.
Oh, yeah. No,
you're out of business. It's over. It's
all
done.
These people telling you get $64,000 your first year as a broker. You might, but you might have claims worth $64,000 a year in your first 4 loads.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for the good words. There's a female Facebook lying about her dispatch service. Okay, newsflash. They do that. Okay. There was a lady.
There's a shit ton of them.
She put all these ads on social media. She was going to do a boot camp. I don't know where she came up with this idea of this boot camp, but she did, obviously thinking for herself and coming up with very creative things. She was going to do a boot camp in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was only $1,279.99 per person. And in that boot camp, she was going to teach you dispatching, brokerage, how to start a trucking company. She was going to teach you how to get into government freight for $1,279.99. Limited seating available.
Oh, man. Hell, don't even do that, man.
She put it all over social media. And I guess, I don't know, I'm guessing here, so I could be wrong. You know, this is the first time for everything. I'm guessing she didn't sell quite enough seats, because after this ad posted all over social media for like 2 weeks, all of a sudden,
on top of that? Did you get lunch on top? I'm only doing it if you get lunch.
In the beginning, yes, but all of a sudden, the price dropped from $12.79 to $5.79 because it was a special offer. And she was going to do these things for you. She was going to teach you all these things and give you all this knowledge in 4 hours.
Frank, I've been in business for a year now, and I'm going to have to start teaching people because I've been in business and I haven't even figured out how to run my business yet. But there's so many people getting into the industry and they just don't know what they're doing. I'm going to have to charge them $4.99 to teach them.
Yeah. Well, this woman, okay, so guess what? The week before she's having the boot camp, I guess she hadn't sold enough seats. I'm not sure. It dropped to $179.
Hey, we'll take the
positive. She's going to teach you all. I've been teaching government training. I've been teaching how to get into government business for 24 fucking years. And let me tell you something. I can't teach you everything there is to know in a fucking month, and I'm good at it.
And we pack everything.
She was going to teach you all these things in 4 hours. Just 4 hours.
Dude, I start at 6 o'clock at night, Monday, right? Go to 11 or 12 o'clock sometimes. That's 5 to 6 hours, 4 days a week, 4. And I have how many people come in and help me, Frank?
Shit, I don't know.
How many servers come in and help me? There's like 8, right?
8 or 9, yeah.
People that are in this business that come in and help on top of that. And we still could spend, the guys are sitting there at 11 and 12 o'clock. You're going to keep talking, but we need more. There's more. And they still need more.
Mandy Akers said, and people believe it. Susan Cow says $4.99. I got mine, Shaggy.
Listen to this. Let me think about this for a second. Listen to this. If you're a new authority, an owner operator getting your authority, I calculated. If you were to go on a load board and draw a 500-mile radius around your house, right? And your authority goes active, you get the load board. Just so you know, you can actually get a load board 30 days or more. You can actually get one right now. You don't have to have 30 days. So when you get the idea to have a load to become get your authority, here's what you do. Let me give you the best piece of advice. You go back when you first get the hunch to spend the $500 or whatever to get your MC number. Don't go ask people. Get on a load board, draw a 500-mile radius on the map, and just start calling people and say, hey, my name's Frank, and I'm getting ready to get my authority. How long do I have to be in business to haul for you? I've actually figured this out. If you go ahead and make this list before you start, then when you actually start your authority, then here's the next fuck up you had. You didn't have your plates before, so you thought you were going to go active when your authority on that 21 days. But now you found out that you didn't go active in those 21 days. So now you got that whole 7 to 10 days, right? While you're freaking out, your bills are coming due, and you can't get your IFTA plates, right? We figured it up. It takes about 16 hours straight to call all those brokers back with DocuSign. Check it out. And fill out broker packets with brokers that will use you in the first 30 to 90 days. It's really weird. So then once you get set up with them and you know what they are, then you go and you get to post your truck and send out messages. So then they all know you're out there and available because, see, brokers need trucks, right? And here's what they're going to do. See, and you don't even have to pay the 6 or 10 or 3% or have some guy in India do it for you or Metro Max where he includes the factoring fee for you. Here's what you do. You just post your truck, and then you send out messages to these people like Frank and all these guys that use you, but they don't put their stuff on the load board, right? It's not freight. It's freight that pays good, right, Frank, all year long?
Oh, yeah, $3 a mile or more.
But it's not on the load board.
Wonder why?
And you see what Frank does when he needs a truck is he sends out emails first to all those guys that are relationships, not dispatching services, retards. They want the carriers, the guy that turned the keys like the customers do, right? And so what they do is they send out these emails and then they call these people in their network. And what they do, check it out. Hold on. This is how it works. So all you guys that are paying a percentage for a dispatcher, this is how it works when you do it the right way, where you're keeping your money and you're actually running your business. They go, yeah. I see, Frank, I got that load. I see you got a truck in Columbus, Ohio or Nashville. Is that still available?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got this load, man. It's picking up from 8 to 4. It delivers 8 to 4, and it's plastic rolls, and it's like 30,000 pounds. And it's easy on, easy off, and it's a really great road, and it's paying this much on this many miles. I see you're about 60 miles. I see you're about 20 miles away. Would you like to have it? Here's what the dispatcher does that's charging you money because you didn't know you could do this. The dispatcher goes, hey, Frank, hey, remember, I know you only haul 43,000 pounds or less and you're available this morning. I got a load for you that picks up 8 to 4 and it delivers 8 to 4. The broker said it's easy on and off and it's paying this much. Do you want it? Can you get a little more of that for me? The broker calls. Can you get a little more of that for me? Seems like the same thing. The only thing I'm doing is I did the work. I mean, fuck, you got a fucking trucking company. Didn't you expect you're gonna have to do some work? Or if you're gonna use a dispatcher and you're gonna pay insurance, all this stuff, why the fuck didn't you just stay at least on for 6 to 10?
It just scares the shit out of me, the idea of having someone that's got no insurance, none, that is not paying your freight, none.
Oh yeah,
zero.
Yeah, they'll teach you for the government for help.
Yeah,
that's right.
It just scares the shit out of me that somebody with no skin in the game whatsoever has access to my MC number, my DOT number. That scares the shit out of me. That ain't happening.
How do you figure out what's real and who's fake for the ones or not? God, that's the problem anymore, man. You really, that's why when we used to dispatch, man, we used to ask people how much they needed to make, what their bills were, and what they got to have. And then I charged a flat fee up front because if I'm going to offer somebody a product, even if it's owner operator, I need to be able to make sure I can double their household bills and get them home on weekend first. So, I'm not a big fan. I do not like the part. I'm so tired of seeing people say, there's no way a guy with one authority can drive down the road. I know. It's so hard to set up that network while you're waiting and all that in those 30 days. And I know DocuSign's a bitch, right? You're driving down the road because half these dispatchers and stuff are also driving down the road using that on their phone. Yeah, I got this load. Where are you at? Well, I got to take my kids to the daycare and stuff like that real quick, but I'm working on your load right now. Well, how are you filling out the packet? Oh, it's good. I can do it right there on my phone. Well, no, RMIS and my carrier packets already have the stuff preloaded. All you got to do is click, and sign, and then the rate card comes. Click, and sign. And like, holy cow, a packet is so fucking hard. The back of the house, I know. And it's really hard when you deliver the load to screenshot it and send it to the factoring company, right? Right? All that takes so much time that you got to go and give away 6 to 10%. I don't understand. Do you understand, Frank?
I don't want anybody touching my shit.
Selling company drivers, Frank. It went to hell.
Yeah, we were talking about that, but I knew when that guy asked that question, that was gonna start a fire. But that's okay. That's okay. We can get back. We can get back on track.
Honestly, how could you do much better? But I'm taking it slow to fraud and possible claims. It's a learning experience. Indeed, I have 3 shippers and keeping it up and running top notch. It's work on top of building airplanes from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Coming home broker in 7 to 4. Finally got a broker rating and trusted by carriers after a year or more of paying straight out of my pocket. No factoring company which would touch me. Due to your diligent people, Shaggy told me this would be the case, not to scare me off, but just a solid advice from a stranger. It's the truth, right, Frank?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, no one talks about the 85% of these numbnuts that are going out of business because they don't do shit, and all they do is cause fraud because they're going to pay their bills and take the money from the carrier on the first load they broker in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, enough of that. We were talking about making the jump from company driver. We're talking, I had to change hats because the whole thing. Hold on. I'll be right back. So anyway, we were talking about making the jump.
That is a great. Did you see that? Did you see what Eric Wilkes put out there? Look at that. Listen to that. That is the God's honest truth.
That's a fact.
Or post their shit on Facebook. Bro Broker, do you post your loads on Facebook?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Why not? I don't know any brokers that post their loads on Facebook.
I don't post my loads anywhere unless it's Friday night and the customer calls and somebody fell off a load and they're in a jam and all my trucks are covered. You know, then I might put a load on.
How do you know if you're talking? How do you know if you're talking to a dispatcher for a carrier? Oh, it's easy. Go ahead, Frank. How do you know if you're talking to a dispatcher compared to a carrier?
Ask them.
Carrier. You ask them. You find out because of the way they do their emails.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways. You know.
Susan Couch. Yeah, I'd like to hear about 3G owner operator deal. Okay.
Tell away.
75-25. We pay for the insurance. We pay for the trailer. We pay for everything except everything. We pay for everything except your license plate. You have to pay for that, and you have to pay for your bobtail insurance. Usually that's like $40 a month. We pay for everything else. You go out there, you haul our freight, you use our fuel card. We've got guys that are saving $500 a week just on our fuel card. You know, you use our fuel card, you haul our freight. We have our own shop. If you want to get your truck worked on in our shop, we charge $70 an hour to labor instead of taking it to Freightliner, Peterbilt, Kenworth, Ware, Volvo, especially, and paying $130 an hour labor. We have our own wrecker. If you have a problem, we can come and get you. And to top it off, we're fucking nice people. We're damn shit.
That's not what the last 20 people I met said about you. They said you're an asshole. Wait, maybe that's me.
Yeah, but you need to stay out of those clubs late at night because I don't even do that anymore, okay? Stay out of there. You hear the dog and the baby in the background? I do not. I don't hear it, Juan. So, Susan,
go play with your fucking car.
Susan, I'm going to have Ricky call you tomorrow and tell you all about it. If you want to be an owner-operator, come on. We'll put you I've already told you. We'll put you in a truck.
I'm still mad because you ain't showed pictures of the truck you bragged about.
I'll have it out by, weather permitting this week. It's supposed to be real fucked up. But we're planning on having it out by Wednesday or Thursday. I got everything
be sold by Friday or Saturday.
It'll be sold. It'll go away. Unless Susan.
Manny's I know some of the guys in the last boot camp are dying to come over and grab some of those trucks, man. They see Manny's already in there with his 2,000 or
Susan's coming to work for us. She's going to come to work for us next week. So she's going to walk out there and pick one of them and say, I'm going to drive that truck. And we're going to put her to work. See, that's a darn good deal. Thank you, Charity. We think so, too. Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. You can expect the average with us, and I'm not going to bullshit you, pull your chain. You can expect the average $2, $2.20 a mile, somewhere around there. You'll be home on the weekend. We go out and back. So you're never going to go out and stay out for a week or any of that bullshit. We don't do that. We reset at home on the weekend. We're home. We're all family people.
That's because you guys have freight and customers and products, and you guys do stuff. It's not freight chasing because you're leasing on some rookie that hasn't built a product and they're still on the load board because they didn't do the homework, and all they did is go straight to Jim Dixie and freaking Book of Loads and their best friends, Alan Lund, Landstar, TQL, Great White, CH Robinson, Coyote, and whatever the motherfuckers are out there that suck ass on the load board. And you guys better start paying attention because I've been doing training the last couple of weeks. And man, 4 weeks ago, the rates dropped by 3. The next week, they dropped by 3 again or more. And man, we were looking at rates going south anywhere out of the Midwest just off the load board. If you guys don't have relationships, what are you going to do, man? They're popping reefer loads off at $2 a mile, $2. So
Nashville to California this week dropped down to $1.08 a mile.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you something. Here's the thing. Here's the fucked up deal. People are hauling it.
Oh, my favorite part is just like 3 weeks ago, the brokers had the higher rates, and all these people are out there on the low boards using dispatchers, and dispatchers give them fucking excuses like crazy because they ain't ever built no relationships or did no fucking work either. And they're out there going, yeah, $2 a mile, $1.80 is all I can get. I can't get no more. That's getting lower, man. Next week it's gonna be $1.80. But $2 a mile average for my 6 trucks is still really, really good because I'm making money.
Edwin Smith is in the house. Edwin.
Oh, shit, there goes the neighborhood.
There went the whole neighborhood right then. How they making lunch money? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
Can you operate anybody on here? There's a whole bunch of people on here tonight, and I'm glad to see everybody. Listen, how many of you can operate?
You like what we're saying? Click the share button and spread the word, because we don't care if they like us or not. So go stick us in their face, and we'll tell them we'll tell them how it is, right, Frank?
Exactly.
We don't care.
Listen. We're glad everybody's in here, and we're glad we got to talk about making that jump between company driver and owner operator. That was so important.
I know. Is that what we're talking about?
Nobody gives a fuck. We're going to talk about other shit. Here's the other thing we're going to talk about.
All right. It that way. Topic tonight, Frank. Stay on topic. We're going to try to, but then Mandy Akers starts talking about fucking broker shit. We're talking about company drivers going to owner operators and owner operators leasing on. Then some dude named Wayne has to talk about dispatching services, get me all riled up because I've teach so many of them and I regret every minute of it to a point.
Listen, there's another thing while I'm bitching, while Shaggy's bitching. I'm just listening. Here's the other thing. Went online the other night and I saw three people offering boot camps. They were going to teach you brokerage, how to be a broker. And guess what, people? Those people were all in Shaggy's classes 2 months ago. They've never been in a truck. They've never been in the brokerage business. They've never been in the trucking business. They wouldn't know the front end and back end of a truck if you put a gun up their ass and fired that motherfucker. But all of a sudden, they took Shaggy's training, and now they're going to teach you how to be in the trucking business. We're going to teach you how to be. You call me. I'm going to teach you how to be and to be successful, and you'll be there for $799.99.
Dude, my wife has kicked 700 people out of our group, and probably 100 of them been in there taking notes.
Yeah.
And I'm not God's gift to girth, I promise. Join USA Trucker Hangout. All right, go back up to the top. There's more you have saved. There's more dollars you have saved and put up, the better off you are. I learned 15 years ago to never borrow from the company. It was bad. I'd just rather pay my own way if possible, but people get in hardships. They do. Here's a good one for you, and that's a true thing, man. Well, Eric's got a beautiful truck. His family's been in the business forever. He is right. So many people are out there and don't know their value in heavy haul. I see these comments happening. They're just destroying that industry. Doing $450 a mile for 90,000 pounds. You guys got to know your value of what you're worth. And when you use dispatchers and these guys that are coming in, they don't know what you're worth. They don't know your value. All they know is what they want to get paid.
It's really easy. It's really easy to get rich in the trucking business, guys. All you got to do, send me and Shaggy $100 each, and we'll get on here next Friday night and tell you how to get rich. Is it legal for someone to find me loads without running under your numbers? Is it legal? It's legal if you let them.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good because, Wayne, because most of the carriers that we're running all year long, we're averaging probably 350 consistently all day long to the Northeast, and we're averaging 250 all year long. So if you keep the pace up on that, you're going to build a lot of relationships, Wayne. You're going to keep a lot of good carriers. Because if their cost is higher than that, and they think they're worth more than that, it ain't going to be around. It's going to stop. But it depends on the type of equipment, too. You're talking about general flatbed. You get in the reefer and step decks and RGNs and a lot of other stuff. There's a lot more expenses to it, so that could definitely change. It all matters about the equipment, the expenses of the trailers and trucks, and what you're doing and where you're running. What's up, David Boys, my buddy?
Listen, The thing about the open deck stuff like RGNs, even just flatbeds, drop decks, low boys, all that stuff. Yes, yes, that freight pays better. But there's some other things like Shaggy was talking about. There's some other expenses that come along with it. Like your insurance is typically going to be higher. If you got an oversized load, you got to have a permit, or you got to have an escort. And those loads are usually a lot farther.
What about the trailer? What about the trailer that's 18 times higher than the dry van?
Yeah.
What about this? Is it legal for someone to find me loads without running under my numbers? Does that mean is it legal for a dispatcher to book loads for me?
I don't know what that means, Elroy.
I didn't get it. Please read. You're talking about a truck running under your numbers and booking loads for them, like co-brokering, or like a carrier.
Are you talking about having like a friend of yours find loads for you? Is that what you're talking about? I don't. I'm confused. Susan say, "Sorry, phone died." Okay, welcome back.
I get Frank might not, but I do.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you're there's nothing legal about using a dispatcher service. It's all the liability and fraud that happens. Okay, hold on. What did he write? What did Stefan write? Attention truckers and industry professionals. The crew at Trucker Hangout, in an effort to better serve all regions, has chosen to create two amazing groups that will now serve you. The International Committee and new groups has been established to provide services. North American trucking and industry professionals serving the region. The New American Trucker Hangout is now open for truckers, and click the like. Okay, great. We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for coming by and using our time and space to advertise your fucking shit. We really appreciate that. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, you really added a lot to the program. Thanks.
Thanks
a lot.
Appreciate it. Hey, Elroy.
38,000 people started new trucker groups on the internet today, and you're one.
We're great.
Thanks for coming by. Yeah. Yep. Steven says the commercial was too long. Yeah. Too long.
I fell asleep 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hey,
anyway,
we appreciate you for marketing on here. Great. Thanks, man.
Hey, I'm the admin. That's great. Thanks for coming by. Okay, now fuck off. Now, anyway, we were talking about dispatch services. We're talking about making the jump, from company drivers to owner operator. We're talking about.
Elroy said yes. Answer the question. Is it legal for somebody to book loads under his numbers? Can he use a dispatching service, Frank? Is it actually legal?
Yeah, it's legal if you let them.
There's nothing illegal about it.
You can do that. They can do that. Now, I will tell you this, Elroy. This is something Shaggy and I started talking about a couple months ago, and it's something.
Melissa said, "Get the fuck out of
here." Elroy, you need to know something. There's a new thing. Like, I've been doing this for free for like 5 years, and I get kicked out. I don't get it. Anyway, goddamn. Should come by your house and wash your fucking car. Anyway, these dispatch services, there's a new thing, okay? There's a new thing now. They're starting to find these insurance companies and these lawyers are starting to figure out who these dispatch services are, and they're starting to sue the shit out of them.
Yeah, but every week, if you check on FMCSA and stuff, there's being complaints where it's not that they're illegal, but there's been fraud where there's been dispatching fraud, people using the wrong number fraud, people booking loads saying they have a network, but they don't. People going to customers and getting paid by customers and then paying carriers and cahoots with factoring companies. There's a lot of fraud, Elroy, where, here's what a big fraud that happens. You get these guys that never ran a trucking company, right? And then you're working with them, Elroy, and they're using your trucking authority because they got power of attorney, they're dispatching. And so this girl named Susie, right, calls up for C.H. Robinson, and you filled out this broker packet, right? And in the broker packet, it says, do you take quick pays? Do you take fuel advances? All that because you're new and they don't know no better. And Susie says, Yeah. Do you, hey Frank, do you dispatch for Kemper Trucking?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Oh, great! I know you're really, really busy. I just had a quick question for you because we needed permission on the system in here, and we noticed that you're in here. Does Kemper Trucking take fuel advances? Because they might be need. I think they're needing a fuel advance.
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, we do. 40% is what we enjoy.
No, no, no. We do half here at CH Robinson. I was just wondering.
Even better. Even better.
50%. Do you
Even
guys?
better.
Does your trucking company allow fuel advances? That's what I'm calling for.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, you do? Okay, great, great, great. And then what happens? Then Kemper, then about 5 days later, Kemper's like, I call up Elroy. Hey, Elroy, yeah, I was just wondering, did you guys get that load delivered that we gave you the 50% of fuel advance on for $4,000 on the load that we got the fake bill away from California that your dispatcher you hired didn't check because she was busy booking loads for 5 idiots for 10%, and her 2 kids are running across the computer screen? And Elroy's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't even go out to California. But your dispatcher approved the fuel advance.
You see where this is going. You see where this is going. You know,
Yeah.
the other thing too is liability. These guys claim because they got no skin in the game. They don't have any authority. They don't have any insurance. They've never posted a bond for anything. They don't have a fucking thing. They don't have anything. They're an idiot. A monkey could do what they do. A robot could do what they do. In fact, robots do what they do. But a monkey could do what they do. They sit there and connect the dots on DAT, Internet Truck Stop, and they play that and they play that, and they make you think they're doing a great job. And if you're stupid enough to believe it, you deserve whatever happens. I'm just going to say
the only person in the industry they're in demand for dispatchers to dispatch people's authorities, because there's sure as hell a lot more fucking dispatchers than there is trucking authorities, as the training schools that are teaching them, just so you know. Pretty much.
Yeah, and you know, you see them on there.
Yeah, my grandma could do it. She's half blind, deaf, stupid.
A monkey could do it.
The stutter, but yeah.
A monkey, a fucking monkey could do it.
Jim says, an owner operator with the 53 step deck. I hired a dispatcher for 10%, told him I need $3 a mile minimum. I keep my wheels moving and I sell my service to customer service. How do some haulers work for $1.50 and stay in business? Fuck, I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Hey, and if you work, if somebody else is doing your business for you.
Oh yeah. No. Back up. When that one fraud happens, and I can give you about 5 or 6 more if you want me to tell you what dispatchers are doing, but you don't hear about it because the dispatching service ain't going to go put out there they fucked up and they ain't writing a check. They don't put that on Facebook. It's only the good stuff. We don't put reviews for bad shit. We don't even go tell people they're bad when they suck at teaching. You know, when we pay for something that they false advertised. And yes, no, 100%. CH Robinson is calling Elroy. And he's taking that shit back, isn't he, Corey? Isn't he, Frank? Prior loads or
call me Corey again, motherfucker. Go ahead.
That's all I talk to you all day because you're so busy building trucks so you don't hang out no more.
I know. I got to do something, man.
God.
It's all going to be digital and automated in the next couple decades, in my opinion. You know what, though? You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about that too.
Oh shit! I'll shut up.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about that too. So let's say one of these automated trucks.
Bringing up dispatching.
Let's say that one of these automatic trucks, automated, whatever you want to call, and they're going down the interstate. Let's say Austin, Texas, which is always ass deep in traffic. I don't give a fuck to go through at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's ass deep in traffic.
Did you hear what Chuck said?
Yeah, well, Chuck. When you start sending me and Shaggy beer, if you think this is good, send us a beer. We'll make it really good. So anyway, except heavy hills. So one of these automated trucks with all these cameras and all this fucking shit, and he's going down the highway at 70 miles an hour, okay? Boom, 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 going down, and his fucking GPS goes out. You got to let me talk for 1 minute.
No, I just laughing about the heavy all day.
And his GPS goes out for 20 seconds at 70 miles an hour. What happens to that truck? Where's it going? So if you're a truck driver, if you're a big old fat redneck truck driver with your hat turned around backwards, sitting there smoking Marlboro cigarettes, going down the road 75 miles an hour, and your fucking GPS goes out, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. You turn around and you look at your dog, your beagle sitting in the seat, and you go, oh yeah, fucking GPS went out again. Goddamn. And you just keep going. There's a lot of shit with these automated trucks they haven't figured out yet.
Oh shit, here comes the midget thing again.
Midgets, fucking shit now. Shit now. We're in Midgetville now. You don't want to start me up about these midgets with the little hot shots.
Dude, that's the only reason Chuck's in business, because he went to a circus and lined up a bunch of midgets to drive his trucks.
Listen, little midgets with their little teeny tiny trucks and running into your goddamn tires and shit in the truck. I'm sick and tired of it. Okay?
Did you see his ad the other day, Chuck?
Up the road to grab the Alice.
We have condos.
I'm sick and tired of it. Little some bitches are underfoot everywhere you go. They won't run worth a fuck. And they always got like 40,000 pounds, stacked up on this cardboard ass excuse for a fucking trailer they got with them little tiny forklift wheels on the son of a bitch going down the road, getting all underneath all your shit. And they pull in the truck stop, take up an entire parking place that a good truck driver could be in, a real one with a real truck.
I see it up. I see
it up, and they climb out of their little Dodge pickup truck and they go like that. What's happening, brother? Where you been running today, brother? Bitch.
I found out how trucks gone. I found out how Chuck's actually gone from 1 to like 25 trucks in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I seen it the other day and for a circus convention said, why do you work in the circus? Aren't you tired of being at shows? And you can make real money signing on with Chuck. Chuck Watkins, 402 Transport. Come over to Oklahoma. We got condos for midgets, and you can work all the time, be paid, have real benefits, and you can have everything. No wonder he's packing them in.
That's right. They little half a motherfuckers sleep in those little tiny trucks. That's why they got to be a midget. They can't sleep. You can't bundle it. You can't get a real man, a regular man, in the back seat of a fucking Dodge pickup truck, laying back there. Where you go when you gotta pee? I know where you go. You pee in a piss bottle, leave it in the Walmart parking lot, and then my ass gets blamed for it. I'm sick and tired of it. Either get a real truck and get a real job, or get out. Just get out. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of you little motherfuckers always out there in the way. Get out of the truck stop and go, yeah, I had a rough day today. I had to deliver 2 air conditioners. This sumbitch up there in the valley. Oh, bitch, please stop. Drive me crazy. Fuck him up, Chuck.
Chuck loves this.
Susan say, yeah, that pisses me off too. Ain't got no business in truck parking. They don't have any business in the fucking car park.
Trisha says, excuse me, I smoke camels.
That figures. Trisha's on my page too. She keeps me straight. She'll go, you're being kind of harsh there, don't you think, Frank? And I'll be going, goddamn. So, I've been drinking.
Eric says, I'm 6'4". I got to run with the fat girls. I tried to drive hot shot once, but the only thing was, man, I couldn't fit in the back, and everybody laughed at me for my feet hanging out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, all that shit's bullshit.
I don't have nothing against hot shot. We just love making fun of Chuck and Aaron Moneypenny because they're
we like that.
But if hot shot's a whole different thing because there's so much diversity.
If you haven't been able to figure it out right now, the live is about making the leap between company driver and owner operator.
It was, but then Wayne brought up dispatching. Mandy brought up brokering. The Chuck showed up and said it's better than Friday Night Live because we wanted to mess with his midgets and he's growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Chuck's growing
like that.
Crazy. If you guys want to see a real trucking company that has hot shots and semis that's really doing good, that knows how to market and treat his guys right, and he's growing like crazy, you guys need to call that dude right there. Bam. Chuck Watkins, 402 Transport. We post his stuff, man. I met him 2 years ago with his wife Angela, and they are rocking it. We have a lot of carriers though, not just them. I can name them off: Shane Dawkins, Tangela Harrison, freaking Virgil Phillips. Jesse Trudeau, Mile High Transport. Oh God, somebody's gonna be mad at me for not and saying their name. Carly and Carly, man, they're up to 9. Dude, I'm laughing so hard over the midget part. That are growing, and it's so great to see these people too.
Oh, it's great. They're like a half a step off a fucking wheelbarrow, but hey, all respect. Now I love it. I think it's great.
All right, let's open the floor. We got 30 minutes before 10 o'clock. Everybody is still listening. Give us your questions. It could be brokering, trucking, routing, planning, seasons, lanes, hot shots, power only. Will you tell me? We will talk.
No government freight. None of that tonight. I'm so tired of that shit. God.
Come on, Frank. Oh, FEMA.
Oh, give me one of them $8 mile FEMA loads. What I'm gonna get? You ain't got to run no log with it neither. You put the sign on the side of your truck and said FEMA. Fuck them cops. Kiss my ass. I'm saving people with this water I got in here.
I'm hiring team drivers, 25 to 2,500 a week per driver, all dropping hook. 2008. That's awesome. Cool.
That's great.
Where is the best place to post your equipment at? Like, what do you mean? Like for a trucking company looking for loads, or trucking company looking for loads, equipment you're going to sell, John Ramsey, or what is it?
Y'all see the videos from the Dallas pile up?
We did.
So sad, and it just. Let me tell you something. I was gonna bring that up. Next week is gonna be real bad. This week was bad.
Right. It's the
next week Friday. Is gonna be worse.
Next Friday. That's why I got the snow on here, because
let me tell you something. Next week is gonna be bad. And all serious, we laugh and joke. We like to cut up. And let me tell you something. If you don't think it's safe, don't go. And I'm gonna tell you something. No dispatcher, no broker. Nobody in the fucking world can tell you when it's safe.
It's worth your life.
Nothing is worth your life.
Guys, it's not even you. You're going to put yourself in a position like those videos in Dallas. Did you not? That is a perfect example of people not paying attention. I mean, how far of a following distance were those guys going at that speed to not even pay attention?
You can tell by looking at them. That was like that one FedEx truck. He never even touched a brake. Never touched it.
What about the QT whatever, dude? They didn't do anything.
They didn't touch the brake.
Like, is that the motherfuckers that are driving down the phone with their phone thing stuck at the top of the window where they're watching TV while they're driving? Well, help them between the lines.
Mickey Joe says, any advice for new owner operators? Yes, Mickey. What would you like to know? What can we help you with? What do you want to talk about? What's your biggest problem? You're a new owner operator. What is your biggest problem? And I'm going to tell you something on here. There's a woman on here somewhere, Susan Couch. She's about to be an owner operator. She's going to come to work for us next week, and we're going to put her in one of our hot rod trucks. Yes, that's right.
So
that's right.
Hey, John Ramsey, if you give me a call, I'll give you some tips. 812-870-2039, or you set up a webinar with me. I do trucking webinars, dispatching webinars, and broker webinars. These aren't webinars for sissy. This isn't this fucking tell you what you want to hear type stuff. They're not.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. Right. Eric, if you're serious about the leap from company to owner operator, understanding equipment base is a huge part for me. All right, Eric. A lot of it depends on what kind of freight you're going to pull. What kind of truck do you want? What kind of truck do you need? If you're going to be over the road pulling dry vans like we do, okay, then the trucks we like the pre-ELD, pre-emissions trucks, okay? And the reason we do is because so many less problems with those trucks. They don't break down, and if you do have a problem, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to get them fixed. And yeah, they're a little bit older trucks, and you gotta spend some money on maintenance and upkeep. But what we do at our shop is we build them back like they're new, and we put them out there and sell them. So guys getting our trucks, they're nice trucks, but I like those. Now, if you're going to work for a company that runs a lot of California and New York, okay, then those are hard places to run because they're always checking you. They're real big on that stuff. They like to play gotcha, in those two states. So that's a different thing. But as far as maintenance goes, everything I've ever heard, these guys with these newer trucks, like with PACCAR motors and all that shit, just go by the book. I know that sounds stupid, but we had a guy come in our shop and he had this big Cummins motor, big showboat truck. He had it deleted. He had all this shit. The truck never ran right. The truck never did run right. He should have just left it the fuck alone and did what was prescribed from the factory. So I mean, if you want to call me, and talk about that more, you call Shaggy, he put you through, or reach out to me on my page, G3 Trucks, and I'll help you through that. I mean, that's what we do at our company is we build trucks for guys that have specialized stuff. We're coming over hill. Our several tires with freight agents.
Hold on, looking for loads. Always remember, John, I'm going to give you a tip, but you're going to have to call me. There's two kinds of brokers. And even the mega brokers, like Frank talks about, like when he talks like we talk about Coyote and C.H. Robinson and TQL. And I don't know, let's not talk about TQL, but a lot of brokers, I'll leave with some of the brokers on the boards, the big mega brokers. There's always two types of brokers. And there's some brokers that are both types. There's a rate broker and a relationship broker. Some brokers are all relationship. They don't want to even touch the load board. But some brokers are relationship and rate brokers, right, Frank?
Yes.
And so because you're not going to go to C.H. Robinson and have C.H. Robinson put $40 million contract with PF fucking Pfizer on the load board. It's not happening. PF Pfizer, you're going to see it on the load board? They don't. You're not going to see Rolls Royce on the load board. You're not going to see Gentech Medicine on the load board. Yeah, matter of fact, a lot of dedicated runs and mid-major projects you don't see on the load board because they go find the carriers before they quote and bid the loads.
They find the carriers, they get them nailed down. See, that's what we do in my brokerage.
Yeah.
We do 40, 45 loads a day. We use the same exact carriers. We have never, ever, ever put one of those loads on a load board, and we never will. And another thing is, if my customers saw their freight on a load board, or if another carrier called them and say, hey, Frank and Shaggy, you're putting your loads on the load board, better watch those guys, that would be my ass, and I don't risk that. I'm not willing to.
So that's the problem, John. When you're building your trucking company up as a new guy or you're starting your authority, when you're using dispatching services or you're learning to dispatch yourself, always remember, almost every broker out there, and more every day, they have an internal network where they let their relationship carriers know the freight they have, the projects coming up, and the lanes before, and it never goes to low board. That stuff is being moved. The better freight is being moved before it ever touches. So you actually have to go out there and you got to do your due diligence to be able to build that network, to be able to get away from it. If you plan on just going load by load basis and just working for the best rate, then you'll never even see that kind of world.
It'll never happen. You'll never see the real stuff.
You'll be like the guys, three guys I talked to today were laughing about they haven't, since they got their authority, they've never used the load board and they're still pulling $2.80 and $3 a mile on lanes that on the load board right now are less than $2.
Yeah. You're never going to see, John. You're never going to see the real stuff on a load board. It's not there.
And if you want to know how to do that, sign up for one of my webinars and I'll be glad to help you, man. It's shaggyexpress.com.
Yeah.
I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah. Just got a customer today by following the line of freight and TQL screwed them over. God, there's a shot. You're kidding. Tyler, you're making that up. TQL screwed somebody over? Ah, okay now.
You're a liar.
You're making that shit up. What do you take us for? A couple of 4-year-old drunks?
Hey, Mickey Joe. Hey, that's what we teach in this group. That's what we have in our group. Please join our group, Shaggy, called Salting and Training. We're doing Q&As and stuff like that. We also offer webinars that are 20 hours a week for 3 weeks where we teach brokering, customers, getting customers as a carrier, safety, compliance, how to grow 1 to 5 trucks, or more, 2 to 10 year plans, how to build a network where you don't have to use the load boards, all kinds of great shit. And it's no joke. I got 15 years. Frank's been, his uncle Mumondo started trucking and built the first truck. Frank Corey's been around since 1995. We got so many people, right, Frank, that have been in the business for at least 30 years or more.
Yeah, yeah. My son's been in it. My son's he's just a baby. He's been in the business 24 years. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys be careful, man. This is the weirdest polar flex we're going to have in a long time. This shit's going to change rates, margins, freight's going to sit, trucks aren't going to move. So it's going to mess up a lot of stuff. They're saying like it's going to be like this till Friday, man. Some places are going to get a foot, some places are going to get ice. Places are already -2, -15. Be very, very careful. We want you to
next week in the upper Midwest, temperatures are going to be 0 below every night. Be careful out there, guys. It's dangerous out there. I don't care. I don't care what kind of truck you got. I don't care. It's going to be dangerous.
Ashley said some of the best relationships I built are on load boards. Now they just email me every day. Ask Russ. Him and Ashley came to my in-person because they like up front. Great people. He comes from the dairy business, man, up in Minnesota, and they're growing, and they got their own shop he just built. He has parking. He is like the perfect setup, him and Ashley, and they're hungry to take it to the next level. And, they came in my office, and I helped them make some phone calls and showed them how quick that they could start connecting relationships. And hopefully they started really, really fast, so they're off the load boards, and they can start expanding with the equipment that he wants to buy. And then he can go after owner operators, start diversifying because he has the product to offer them. I'm so excited for them.
Yeah, it's going to work out.
That's why I stick with standard 250 mile, keep my carriers on board. That's the same thing. That's the same thing we do, man, depending on the lanes. Insurance claims, TQL get a hold of anyone. That sounds good.
Yeah, there's a shot.
My website, shaggy'sexpress.com. The phone number's floating across the bottom. And anybody that wants to get a hold of Frank, man, I got him on speed dial. He'll answer for me faster than you guys. And I can help. And I know a lot of what they do, so I'll connect you with him or Frank Jr. or their brokerage or their truck shop where they build trucks, or you can message them a private message. Or you can join G3 Trucks and Freight.
Yeah. We're not as big or as active as Shaggy's group.
Did you see that?
We partner up on stuff. Russ say -18 here right now. Tell you what.
That's why the snow's on the screen tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking cold.
I mean, damn. That's cold.
Make
you yang crawl up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you do.
So really, the only thing you can do, Wayne Morgan, is make sure you sign a really strict confidentiality agreement that covers your ass when they start, and make sure you're really thorough about it. Like Frank's really good with that stuff. Liability is his favorite word. Mine is diversity. And, and I like liability too. Trust me. Frank's taught me more about it. So is having our own brokerage and for the last 3 reels. And there's really no way to track it when they leave until you find out somebody's actually doing it. The big thing is to have your repercussions involved with the non-competes and the rules in your contract when they start, so you can go after them, right, Frank?
Yep. I mean, you can get a basic non-compete, non-solicitation thing on the internet. You can and fill it out.
Our lawyer in the group, and David will write it up for him.
Yeah, and if you get David to do it, he'll charge you a little bit, but I tell you, he'll customize it so that it fits you and your company and your situation. It's the best money you'll ever spend. Yes.
Russ says it's even too cold to snow. That's fucked up right there.
Yeah.
Now I know I don't live in Minnesota.
We got a guy down up there tonight.
Shoot, my dogs don't even go outside this shit, man. I gotta put a box with a blanket in there, and we're not even -15 yet. Fred said, "Fuck you." He's in Minnesota. Where are you at, Russ?
Trisha. Trisha, you said holy shit on the internet. Trisha, you said holy shit on the live internet, and right now there's about 1,000 people watching this. 1,000 people are sitting at home going, I wonder who this Trisha is and why she's so crude.
Said, holy shit.
Holy shit. Non-competes been there. Yeah, but they're necessary. He's in Minnesota. Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left. If anybody's got any questions, now is the time.
I saw a lawyer with his hands in his pocket. Was it your son, Frank?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
You haven't mentioned him forever. I haven't heard Petey's name in like 12
I know
years.
he's busy trying to stay warm up in Indiana. He's not that far from you.
If you're in our Facebook group, we have a lawyer on retainer, Wayne Morgan. He's always available for consulting for free if you're a member of Shaggy's group. Yeah, Trisha, it's a good thing you only said that because it's not like we would tell everybody that you said it on live TV, right? Because it's on TV. It's Friday night show.
Shaggy and I did a show one night, and the next day we found out we had 16,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's our biggest show we did. We almost hit 18.
Yeah, Trisha.
But that ain't nothing. That was the week that we reached 451,000 and 4.1 million through the group. But that was because Melissa's the queen of memes.
Memes.
Memeing
up.
Then we had this thing COVID come in, and it was like, and then Zuckerberg dickhead.
My friend Mark. He's my friend.
Fucker.
So anybody got any questions? We're really glad we were able to help you with that giant leap from company driver to owner operator.
Hey, it was a great topic for the show tonight, Frank. Dude, we haven't been able to stick to a topic for 3 years, Frank.
I know. It wouldn't be any fun if we did. Thoughts on the government mandating a $4 million insurance instead of the standard $1 million? I mean, what's to say? What thought? I will say this, Rob. I've got 2 customers that have they've been requiring that for several years, so it's not a new thing for me. You know, that said,
yeah, but
I don't like it.
We don't like it at all. But if it does go to 2 million or whatever they're thinking, it's just going to fly. Everybody's so freaked out about it because it's got drama. But it doesn't just affect the drivers, guys. It affects customers.
Everybody.
It's going to cause everybody to go up. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, the drivers are going to have to pay it all." Well, dude, you can't go out there and take 6 million power units and charge them $2 million a unit on $4 million liability expected, not along with fuel prices and everything else, is not expected to cause a fucking net. How they can't even get the. Never mind. We cannot go. We're not. Frank says we are not, and Shaggy say we're not allowed to talk about government or politics in Shaggy's group because it's not good, and we don't do that.
But Robin, to answer your question, it's up to me whether I want to do business with those customers or not. They require that much insurance. But believe me, I added in the rate. I don't like the idea. I never, ever, you're never, Trisha. Girl, stop. Stop, damn it. I don't like the idea, Rob. If you can sit there and list every government mandate since 1979 when I got into this business, and I will disagree with all of it. I've never seen anything improved by government mandates.
Peace out, brother. Yeah, well, Eric, tell dad and son and wife and family and everybody down in Savannah area, Georgia, we said we appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for coming in. We're going to try to be here every Friday night, but there's just times that we're tired, and it happens.
Susan Couch, is it a good time to become a new owner-operator with a new press? Just saying fuel prices are increasing. Freight rates going to increase. Sorry about the political question. Listen, Susan.
Freight chasers are the ones that are crying about fuel prices. People that are consistently running, that know their numbers, that have their numbers set up and their budget in. They know their cost. They know they need $1.60 or whatever it is, and they know what they need to be over to consistently profit over their truck, trailer, fuel, and insurance, and they're going home. Those guys are used to this. I mean, shit. I remember when 2010, everybody's crying, and it was fucking $4 or $5 a mile.
Yeah,
I was getting so much money, Frank, when it happened. I was like, Dude, I thought 2008, 9, and 10 was terrible when you're begging for $1.50, $1.80 a mile when I first started. Shit,
It
whatever.
doesn't matter. Hey, Susan, when they came out with radar, then my friend Irwin Trucks came up with radar detectors. Then when they came up with radar detectors, his uncle Carl Trucks came up with radar detectors. Okay, whatever the fuck they come up with, we go around it. It doesn't matter who's in charge. They always try to put shit on you. Okay, truck drivers in real life, you keep your ass down, you keep your head down, you keep shifting gears, and you just go around the son of a bitch and keep going.
Yes, the fuel surcharge, man. I see fuel surcharges, man. Everybody's yelling about the rates, and I'm looking on these EFS sheets. It's like 80 cents, $2.20. Like, it's crazy. Hey, Rob, we love you guys, man. Thanks for joining. Join our Facebook group, both of them, Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. We have all kinds of Q&As like this every week.
All the time.
But those are all private. They're not live.
You know, the best thing about Shaggy's group is when he and I are on here, and everybody knows that because we're the best ones out of all of them.
That's because he's a dick and I'm not.
That's because we're on here on Friday night, usually around 8 o'clock. You know, we like to get on. We just like to talk about whatever you guys. We want to talk about what you guys want. We started out talking about that giant leap, you know, from company driver to owner operator. But fuck it, nobody cared about that. So we started talking about other things. There were other questions. Questions came up, and they need to be answered. They need to be answered directly, and that's what we're here for. Is to answer your questions, tickle your fancy a little bit, make you feel good about things. You know what I mean? Even if you're a funny-looking motherfucker, you can't help it. That's what we're here for.
Look at you with the hair, fucking Danny DeVito with the fucking wig on.
Ain't no wig, dude.
No. Today you look like the man. Usually it's Jack Nicholson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The devil.
Love the live. Thanks for all the information.
We'll be back every Friday at 8. So share it, tell people, spread the word.
You come to work. You come to work with me and Ricky. You'll be home on Friday nights to watch this. Or you can sit in the shop while we do this and get in the back and wave at motherfuckers. Damn.
Where's your new fucking microphone and all that crap? You too freaking.
You know what? I've never
hooked it up.
Hold on. I've never hooked it up. I don't even know if it works.
Shit, your kids go and buy you technology, you old fucker, and you won't even put it on so you can we can actually hear you and shit, see you.
Well, the reason I never have put it on, it's got a camera and all that too, and I don't know, you know, I
have to plug it in.
Huh?
You can build a fucking truck from the ground up, but you can't even plug in a damn camera. What the fuck, you old geezer?
I don't know. It's just kind of one of those deals, you know, like if it ain't raining, don't fix the roof kind of thing.
It is raining. Snow. It's like hell froze over in trucking world because we're gonna be like the worst people ever because there's gonna be like 35 groups saying that Shaggy guy's trying to ruin our
trucking coming to G3 trucking soon. That's exactly right. And Rob Morgan say, I went from years of being a company driver to an owner operator, midget driving, all over everything. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you know we're here for everybody.
We're here to help everybody.
Listen, I want to point this out to you. I want to be sure that everybody. I want to be sure everybody understands. When Shaggy and I talk about midgets, we're not saying it in a bad way.
We love them.
Like them little motherfuckers. No, really, respect. I mean, you know, respect to all them.
Just because Chuck Watkins and Harry Moneypenny got busted for trying to recruit off the cast of Wizard of Oz, and we busted them for it, doesn't have nothing to do with what we're doing right now.
Nothing. Somebody's got to haul that cheap shit on those cardboard ass trailers with them forklift tires. I can't. My shit's real.
I've seen some $5 rates for this weekend. Everyone's scared. Shit, everybody's got rates, man. Corey was telling me today up in Michigan, dude, his customers are crying. Because for $4 or $5 a mile, they're like, okay, hey, this isn't freaking Adult Check and freaking what's those other Pornhub and stuff like that. Come on, John, it's Trucking Channel. Hey, well, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Please tell everybody about us. Guys, definitely check out our webinars. They're on shaggy'sexpress.com. We're pretty sold out till April, sometime in March. We stay sold out like 2 months at a time, 15, 20 people in the class. It's real live talk. We do training that's live, just like now. We have one-on-ones available. Don't let your trucking company be destroyed. Don't ever let somebody take advantage of it. Folks, if you guys need equipment with trucks, you guys need help with freight, we have 2 brokerages that are cranking out freight. Frank needs trucks. We need trucks. We need round trips out of Michigan. Frank sells trucks. Man, we have a lot of stuff.
I'm terrified.
Midgets can't drive hot shots.
You little motherfuckers can't reach the pedals. But you know, talk about I'm terrified of midget. I'm terrified of midget clowns. That's just me.
We're gonna get a season assist from the Midget Network.
I don't give a fuck. We'll let one of them little. Have you seen Jane's dog lately?
Oh,
that son of a bitch comes up to my waist. Let some midget try to serve a paper at my house. That motherfucker will drag him around the yard, play with him like a rat, and then eat him.
Shit, he think it's a horse to ride off on him. You won't have a dog no more, midget. And then fucking Jane will kick your ass for letting the midget play.
I just see it now. Honey, could you come out in the yard? I believe the dog's eating another midget.
Oh, it's just not Chuck's drivers. You're good.
Yeah. I swear I bonked one on the head. They have midget wrestling in Ohio. We have midget wrestling. My son Frank is a wrestling promoter. He got that guy Swoggle to come down. Shaggy was supposed to come and wrestle him.
Come down to Nashville and get my ass.
Shaggy was supposed to come down to Nashville and wrestle with this guy Swoggle. And I'm gonna tell you something. I met that little motherfucker. I wouldn't fuck with that little motherfucker on a bet. Hell, his arms is that damn big. No, hell no. No. It would be a rodeo.
Sending me hate mail and stuff for Swoggle.
Swoggle.
Swoggle. I see pictures of him. It's like you guys told him to send me messages.
He came down. He did pictures. I tell you what, he was a super, super nice guy. We had a thing. We have a thing where we go over to Vanderbilt to the Children's Cancer Ward over there, and that he made every one of those kids just love that guy, man. He was great.
What's up, Luke?
What's up, Luke?
Luke.
We had a lot of fun being on here with you guys tonight. You know, we always have fun when we get on here.
Oh, we do. We love this show. It's just time because we're all wore out doing
hard
stuff.
To do. Sometimes hard to do.
Loves this shit so much, he would do it every Friday night at 8 o'clock. He would part ways to do it. It's me that messes it up all the time.
We used to do it on Wednesday nights, you know, which is okay, but we had a pretty good crowd tonight, Shaggy, looks like. So that's good.
Great, man. We were hitting 71 and stuff. Remember the days we had like 10 and 15,000 people?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
From Montreal. Broker. Nice, man. We broker. Break brokers. We broke.
I got a brokerage. Yeah, my son runs it. It's fun.
It is a short assignment. Where you been, Steve Gold? You show up at the last 10 minutes and crap and start commenting, man. You got to be here earlier. You're out, buddy.
Gould. You drop in at the last minute. He's one of these guys that used to come up to you in high school. Steve Gould come up to you in high school and he'll go, "Hey, dude, want to smoke some weed?" You go, "Yeah, sure." Steve go, "Good. You got any?"
Oh, yeah, Luke, man, that's awesome, brother. We love our Canadian family, man.
Yeah, Montreal.
Yeah, we have a lot of Simon, Jazz. I have so many Canadian carriers, man. I love my Canadian carriers. I just wish they could do more work here. They're so hungry to work here in the United States, man. I just wish I could help them get here. It's a lot of strict laws, you know.
He's got Susan translating for him, so it must be something going on. I don't know what that is. I thought she was just a truck driver. I have no idea she was a translator.
Yeah, Susan's a translator too. Multitask.
Steve, go. Hey, Steve, if you're driving, put the goddamn phone down. We can call on the phone. Jesus.
Don't you know it's snowing outside? Can't you see, Frank?
Yeah.
I got my
French.
Nice to meet you, Luke.
Nice to have you.
French ever? Don't worry. Frank usually can't even talk English on a good day. He's just doing good today. Usually he talks gibberish and old senile seniors. Shit,
All right, the crowd is dropping off, so I'm going to drop out. Thank you guys for having us. I'm really glad we got through that whole, fucking driver owner operator thing. It's something that's been bugging you guys, I know. So it's good that we can work through it together, as a family here. And just anybody with a dispatch service, if you feel like you were slighted tonight, or if you feel like somebody was maybe taking some shots at you, it's probably because we were. But anyway, try to get over that shit, okay? Get your broker license and quit being a fucking drain on the industry. Anyway, everybody else, thanks for coming by. Always happy to have you guys here, especially students, former students, and students that will be. We'll talk about government one night. If you sign up for Shaggy's government webinar, I get on there one night and teach you how to get into the government business. But I don't do it on these go live things because it just takes too long. And to be perfectly honest with you, there's a lot of stupid people that slip through the cracks. I ain't doing that. But anyway, thanks for having us in your house. I'm going to beg out. Shaggy's going to keep talking to you for a few minutes, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye, Frank.
Bye now.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm tired. It's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day to all you ladies out there. Kids, we wish you the best with Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. I want you guys to have a safe weekend. Do not wreck on the roads out there. Drive a lot slow. Don't get in a hurry. It's not even you. Pay attention to those guys you're driving with. Don't do stuff that's stupid. Make sure you guys are building relationships. If you're confused why rates are dropping or plates out there, don't understand what building a relationship is, tired, worried about not knowing stuff, think you have to use a dispatch or anything like that, get tuned into our Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. Get set up for a webinar or just call me myself too. My cell phone is the number that is rolling across the bottom of the screen. That's all I have. I don't have an office line in here. I'm a real deal. I don't have an office line in here. I don't have nothing in here. This is my cell phone. It's attached to my office all the time. Anybody in the group will tell you, I answer the phone. I am a mentor. Artie's a mentor. We have a whole group of mentors. We have people in here that want to help you make it in this industry. We're not out to cut your throat, take your money. We want you to do it yourself, be independent, and who you were. We want you to survive. Be a winner. We want you to grow your business. We want you to have a 2 to 10 year plan. We joke around, we laugh, we have fun. We're talking about joking with Chuck's truck and stuff like that, but when it comes down to a point, it's serious. Chuck ain't playing around. He takes care of his business. He has 402 transport. Check him out. He got 20 some odd trucks. He has employees in there. His drivers love it, and they're growing like crazy. Sounds muffled? Probably because it's time for me to get out here. Oh, because it's cold. You hear me now? No? Yes? Maybe? 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 You hear me now? You're back. All right, that's a good sign. Peace out, guys. You're looking out. Better? Is it better? You better not. Good. I haven't been. I gotta get it. Great does that. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm tired. I've worked all week. I'm gonna leave. Peace out. Good night. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Peace out. Check us out on Facebook, website, Shaggy. Be good. Be safe. Don't wreck. Happy Valentine's Day to you and your families. Be good. Don't let somebody dictate your business and be in charge.